Hello, I'm Nido Qubein. It's my privilege today to speak to you. The CEO Roundtable on Cancer, founded by President Bush. You are doing some spectacular work. I want to thank you as a citizen and as a leader for all the good that you do for our world. And I know that things have been tough for all of us. I mean, we've just been through a major pandemic. We're still struggling with pieces of this pandemic. And as I travel around the country and speak to companies and organizations, I hear the same things over and over again. How do we deal with our employees? How do we deal with our customers? How do we keep our culture alive and well in times that are so trying and so demanding of all of us? As president of High Point University, I was determined that we will stay open. And we did some things that allowed us to do exactly that and to do it with success and to bring forth a sense of significance and impact and influence along the way. You know, I was in business for 40 years before I became president of my undergraduate alma mater. I came here to transform this institution, built a great team who have helped us to transform it from a 91-acre landlocked university to almost 500 acres today, from 3 academic schools to almost 11, 10 plus 1 about to open, from 1,400 students to 6,000 students. Today we're #1 among best colleges in the South, according to U.S. and News World Report. But listen, the deal is this: leadership is not easy. Leadership demands our very, very best when things are really difficult. As the old saying says, when things get tough, the tough get going. So this pandemic has hit us all in a hard way. I serve on the boards of several major corporations with tens of thousands of employees. I've watched with admiration how the leadership of some of these companies managed this difficult period of time. It isn't easy to deal with labor shortages. It isn't easy to deal with supply chain challenges. And yet leaders like you, CEOs like you, constantly solve problems and find solutions and move their organizations in the right direction. At High Point University, we said we will stay open. And we knew that we were going to have risks. And we knew that we were going to have some people who will resist to staying open, but we are a residential university. We had no choice. And so we stayed open. We made sure that we had 8 hotels that are booked specifically so we can house quarantine students. We made sure that we adhere to all the rules and regulations, from masks to distancing, to ensure that we have a clinic that can deal with people who may get sick, to make sure that we have vaccinations and testing in ample supply, but mostly to ensure that the mindset on this campus, that the culture of our organization is alive and well, that it is our job to stand tall when so many others seem to falter. This is America. This is the land of the free and home of the brave. This is the place where we must deal with challenges, deal with risks, deal with problems, with courage, yes, with preparation and planning too. And so we prepared well, and you know what? We stayed open the entire time. Of course, we had some students with COVID-19, but we had nurses, and we had security in the hotels, and we had extra food service, and we had extra transportation, and we managed the process. And when we opened school again this past August, private schools across America's enrollment went down by 14.2%. Our enrollment went up by 5.6%. Our parents understood, realized, acknowledged that this university knows something about life skills, that this organization refuses to sit down when it is our calling to stand up, step up, and step out. And yes, with proper preparation, we did it. The question is, how did we manage that process? I bet you did the same thing in a marvelous way. That's why I honor you. We learn from each other. We communicate with each other. First, at High Point, we said, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So everything here, physically, mentally, professionally, must be prepared. We must have the resources. We must manage the risks. We must adhere to the laws of the land. Second, we must connect with our clients, parents and students and employees. Not merely communicate with them. When you communicate with someone, you speak, you listen, you observe, and you write. But when you connect with someone, you answer this question: how must this person feel first? So this person will do what we need them to do. And connect, we did. This may shock you. I record a video almost every day. It went to students and parents and alumni and employees, faculty and staff alike. I try to give them comfort that we are in command of the situation. Yes, there are unknowns and there are unknown unknowns, but that we have the resources, both human and otherwise, to deal with these issues. That we cannot sit in the corner and whine. Whining is the opposite of thanksgiving. That we cannot simply focus on what to do. We must focus on how to be. How to be the human potential. After all, our beliefs lead to our behaviors lead to our results, and what we need is coaching. A leader's job is to coach those whom he or she leads. And so coaching we did in ample supply, and it worked. It worked. At Hype University, we say there are only 4 things that contribute to our success. 1 is we create value. 2, we interpret the value. We interpret the value. We do not assume that everybody understands the strength of the value that we offer. 3rd, we removed all the irritants out of the system. And 4th, we added wow to the experience. In my years of consulting with companies across America, from coast to coast and border to border, and being a confidant to many CEOs, I always used to say there are 4 steps. When we follow them, we do well. We must have a clear vision. Who are we and why are we? 2, we must have a solid strategy. Who are we today? What do we want to become? How do we get there? 3, we must employ practical systems. No pie in the sky, no Pollyanna thinking, but practical, pragmatic, applicable systems. And 4, in difficult times or not, we must have consistent execution. We must consistently execute on our plans and do it with a sense of excellence. At Hype University, our call to action is simply this: choose to be extraordinary. It is a choice. It is a choice to be extraordinary. And so, dear friends, CEOs, on this round table, I honor you for who you are. I acknowledge the significant responsibility you have in your life. I thank you for being a part of this round table on cancer. What you bring to this effort is immeasurable. It is impact and influence that lasts for generations. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you for your caring and sharing, involving and inspiring of your teams. At Hyper University, 40 years after being in business, I came here to serve. I like to tell people that I divide my life into 3 buckets. 1/3 of my life I dedicate to earning. 1/3 of my life I commit to learning. And the last third of my life I give to serving. Somehow life is filled with joy and satisfaction when we care about others. And if this pandemic taught us anything at all, is that yes, we can. Oh, yes, we can. We must believe in the art of the possible. Every problem has a solution. What it has taught us is we have good people with whom we work. Our teams are willing to give of themselves and to step up to make good things happen. What we've learned from this pandemic is that we have the resources, both human and fiscal resources, to manage difficult processes. That's what you do every day. That's what you do every day with excellence. So I thank you for hearing me out today, and I thank you for your leadership. You're capable, able, committed,